Okay, I guess this is going to be the final part now, 14. But so anyway, what I was saying was everybody around here was worried, or some people that I know was worried when they were the current incumbent was in danger of either being threatened to be, I guess what they call it, impeached or something, or even with that. And then, of course, when they say, oh, okay, everything's fine now, everything's okay, everything's going to be okay, and the bad guys that have been, causing all this trouble around the world and stuff, well, a lot of them are getting arrested now, and this and that, and the pedophile rings and all this stuff, whatever, they're all been busted now, and they're all been held and whatever. Really? Really? Well, let me give you a live example. One of the final two, what do you call them? Candidates in the last selection process. I'm sorry, election process. Sorry. Anyway, I think it was the female. Maybe it was there a female running. I can't really recall right now. Well, let's see. I've heard that. Let me see now. She died, and then I heard that she's currently being held and questioned and is busted and arrested now, and is being held in a facility in Philadelphia, specifically made for now this is thanks to your friendly neighborhood shills on the very site, more than likely, that you're probably listening to this right now. Well, if that's the case, she should still be there, especially for what this particular shill says that she was accused of. But then just yesterday, I see a little clipping somewhere where she's doing book signings. Let me see now. She's supposed to be being under arrest and held in a Philadelphia, like a specially made penitentiary, like, camp. Hint. But she's doing a book signing. Does that make sense to you? I don't think so. Anyway, if somebody tells you everything's okay, don't worry. That's the best way. That's the most popular way, people. They get you to do something. It's either deceive you or scare the crap out of you. Until you see it for yourself, or until you know it for a fact, don't believe it until you've checked into it yourself. In other words, your two don'ts are: don't drop your guard and don't leave your house. This is how they're taking everything over. Just stand there and just don't do it. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to kill you? Are they going to shoot you and say, well, once you've proved to them that that's your home, just say, look, this ain't no eviction. This ain't no eviction process or foreclosure process or whatever. And those are actually the thefts that I'm talking. That's what they call them. They're far from that, people. It's a word they use to put in front of you and make you think things. Anyway, yeah, they're stealing your home right out from under you. But I mean, what do? Do you march your own forces through there? Remember, you don't have the numbers. Or do you just scare the crap out of everybody and get them to leave themselves, lie and cheat and deceive them, get them to leave themselves? Then it's much easier. Then you just seal them off. and now they have your house. And here's another scenario for you, and this is going to take you off, but I'm sorry, I got to put the realistic possibilities out there. Well, while you're waiting to get back in, they decide they'll go ahead and level this one particular area. So they'll demolish all these. I've already seen it done. And even the reporter, when they went back the following day, I don't know if they realized it or not, but they had actually destroyed like several buildings. You know, after it being reported that there was no there was no damage, and the hurricane is past now and whatever. Now this is on one particular evening, and they go back the next day to see if anybody had started coming back in, and they said no, the authorities apparently have still got it sealed off. They're still in the area. They're trying to make sure that there's no bodies anywhere, whatever they were talking about. But all right, if a building is standing, the hurricane's passed, it's gone. The next day you go back, the buildings, at least 3 of them, are knocked down. Hurricane's gone, and they're demolished. Does that make sense to you? I know exactly what they're going to do. So they want to make it, again, I've already been through all this stuff, and it's just, I or anyone else should never have to go through this stuff. It's just illegal. It's just, there's no words for it. Words haven't even been invented of it. I wonder if that sounds familiar to them. One of my other ones they took. It's just pure evil. And it's, but again, they're not human, so, not that I can see. But, so scare everybody out, seal it off, demolish everything, or take it over. The ones you take over, you just don't, that's the ones you've gotten the information from the shelters or whatever, or whatever. But there's always a possibility while everybody's waiting to get back in, they could demolish entire areas that they really want and say, sorry, the hurricane got to it, plus there's, and then your insurance that they co-op with as well will say, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to, rebuild that for you because you don't have hurricane insurance, or you have hurricane insurance, but it doesn't cover acts of God, or some kind of BS. You know what I'm talking about. So you voluntarily left your house, and now you don't have one. Wouldn't you rather take the chance that they're bullshitting you? And even if it is a bad storm, you can ride it out. There's always a way you can ride it out. But if you're forced to go, don't go out of eyeshot, people, please. Because I got just a very strong feeling 9 times out of 10 you're going to be somewhat sorry that you did. So that's what you can do. Don't ever drop your guard on good news. Wait till you see it for yourself first. And hold up your guard until you know that for a fact. And even when you do know that for a fact, you really still shouldn't drop your guard. The mistake that, a lot of people have made, which is why I honestly believe where we are, is because everybody did. And I'm not feeling very good about that right now. And also, don't leave your houses. This is, of course, again, this is what I would say if somebody were to ask me. This is what I would say, I'm going to close this out finally, thank God, with the last SHILL example of how I busted him. If you were waiting for that, here's what it was. Well, this guy was not into, his main subject is like I said, they all have a main topic that they're responsible for handling. So he has, I mean, I'm pretty sure I know who his support sites are too. Remember, they have the show, they usually have one or two. I've seen them most of it too. And what those guys usually do is they send them stuff, or they'll comment, or they're responsible for doing the comments on it to get other bullshit out that way. Excuse me, I'm sorry, BS that out that way. Anyway, this guy is, I mean, I've seen lots of his stuff, and it's actually, the truth part of his segments have been, not too bad. But he lost me, unfortunately, the day before yesterday, because I saw something, let's just say, that he had done. His topic was not the hurricane thing, but I don't want to give it away. But what? Let's say, for example, let's say he covered okay, Area 51, maybe, like, or UFOs or something like that. So let's say he was covering Area 51, and I don't know if he just doesn't remember or whatever, but I mean, he's covered, let's just say, for example, if this was to be Area 51, he had covered Area 51 like down to what seemed to be the last grain of sand in prior segments or prior videos. And then all of a sudden, along with, as best my memory serves me, and at the very least, if you're doing a subject like that, I know forget my language, I know you know damn well what S4 is. Okay? But when you get on there, and let's say, for example, if you're gonna, let's say he shows an image of something, is like, and you say something like, oh, could it, one of my viewers had said that it might be something called, maybe even something called S4. If anybody's ever heard of that, let me know. People, he just busted himself. I mean, the best, if this person, let's just say, what, and the subject he was actually covering, but let's just say he was covering that, you had heard him time and time again mention like S4. It's not, the normal person might not be familiar with it, but certainly the people who are in the know would. I mean, that's like, baby step 1, 2, 3. Even what's in there, but when he says something like, somebody even suggested that it might be something like S4, has anybody ever heard of something like that called S4? He just busted himself. I mean, I oh my gosh. Anyway, but it was a little different than that, but I just don't want to, like I said, I just have to, I don't want to give the farm away, but just know, everyone, I'm really concerned about everybody, and I love each and every one of you, and that's all I have at heart here. Okay, and please take care of yourselves. I love each and every one of you. Take care. Bye-bye.